Welcome back to Spooky Movie Monday.
Ooh.
Today, as you might have remembered from last week, we watched ParaNorman, the movie right after Coraline from the same studio.
We're going chronological.
And just like last time, it's something that I hadn't seen before, but we had.
Yeah. Why do I always know? I know why I'm always the odd one out with this.
Yeah,
Because you're a weeb.
I don't think weeb is the correct terminology.
I think in this case it's more like weenie.
The dweeb.
A dweeb. A dwevel.
Oh my god.
Well, actually, going along with that actually goes along with the theme for ParaNorman.
Oh, yeah, being a dweeb.
What did you think?
I don't know. I don't really know what my immediate emotional reaction is, other than, wow, people really mistreated this child. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's my main gut reaction. I'm just like, if I was Norman, I would probably have applied for boarding school and left that town. Or maybe just live under a rock for the rest of my life and not deal with people.
Well, technically he would still have to deal with people, just dead people.
I would rather deal with dead people. They're at least nice to him.
Even again, that's like the whole theme of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, it's not okay. There's two pieces to it, right? There's the whole the mob mentality. We're afraid of what we don't understand, right? That kind of part of it, right?
Yeah.
But then the second layer is it sort of comes up right at the end, which is the whole how do they describe it?
Don't revenge, I guess.
Yeah, basically. But it was at the same time it was framed not in the way of just forgive everyone. It was not framed that way, right?
No.
It was just it was more like, what's the point of just continuing the cycle of pain?
The cycle of revenge and things like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, at least be at peace in yourself, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't have to forgive anyone, but at least at least know in yourself that you shouldn't stoop down to their level and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because actually I just recently got into a show that has this theme in it pretty all throughout. But even besides that, this actually that whole ending message, it's not the exact same, but it's kind of similar actually to what I would consider the best moment from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, you mean with Katara?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that was still framed a little differently, but the idea is the same.
Yeah, with the whole thing of revenge and stuff like that.
Yeah, with it again. So that was I like that one. I mean, so I don't know. I kind of forgot that specific aspect was in this movie because I'd seen this a couple times before, but not in the last couple years. So, and I don't know. That idea of both kind of breaking out of the cycle of violence, but also at the same time you don't have to really be happy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like that kind of theming and the lesson to it as well. Because I've heard this talked about again with the Southern Raiders thing, that it's because it's the kind of a bad thing to say to kids, where it's oh, you should always forgive people or whatever, because it's sometimes you don't have to, but at the same time as long as you deal with it healthfully, then that's okay. So yeah, I don't know, I really like that aspect of this.
Another thing too is, we touched upon it a little bit when we were talking about how you were saying that he should live under a rock, but it was touched upon a little bit where in the movie you would think that the people that are mean to him, since he can talk to ghosts and everything, are the ghosts and the dead people and stuff, basically.
Yeah, but they actually treat him the best.
They treat him the best and as an equal, while it's the people who are alive that treat him as something really scary and ignore him and bully him and stuff like that. So it kind of puts that trope, because I feel like usually when there's a trope of someone who can talk to dead people, it's usually like, oh my god, they're really, they don't want to talk to dead people anymore. They think that it's a curse. It's because they don't want to talk to them and stuff. But in his case, it's more so that he views the real life people as the curse, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, for some people, like, death is viewed as something kind of therapeutic. Like that concept of darkness and, being kind of macabre. It is a way to cope with certain things. I mean, I kind of used to be a little bit more invested in that kind of stuff when I was younger. But I think my relationship with it kind of changed when I got older, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because this movie balances, like, legitimately, okay, it balances, like, a lot of different things. It balances, like, an over-the-top, but at the same time ultimately important kind of message with the whole mob mentality thing. With, like, a legitimately, like, emotional kind of moment, like, at the very end, right?
Yeah.
With, at the same time, like, legitimately pretty funny stuff, too. So it balances all of that out in a way which is really impressive, because you'd think with all that stuff it'd feel like kind of like mood whiplashy, but it's not.
I think they chose the characters really well to play out the emotions and stuff like that. Because I think if Norman was like an adult or anything, like if they switched his character with like
his sister
or the hobo guy, the moods wouldn't have worked out very well.
Fucking hobo. Oh my.
Yeah.
Fucking
I did notice they said that because they said, well, okay, they said that was his uncle. I presume from his mom's side. It's kind of not 100% clear, but I think so. But then they also said briefly that when they were talking about last names, that both the girl and the uncle had the same last name.
Oh, the Gast part?
The Prendergast. So I was like,
yeah.
Oh, so are they, like, actually... Okay, obviously that girl didn't have children, because, she's, like, 10. But, I guess
maybe she had a sibling or
yeah,
something.
so it's interesting that I guess they're implying there is, like, sort of a family tie, and that also could maybe explain, like, why,
they look similar?
Why they can actually, like, communicate with dead people, right?
Right.
So, it's kind of interesting how they get into that. But, yeah, I always liked, the whole... kind of the stinger at the end where they reveal that Mitch is gay.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where it's like, it's so like, they don't make a big deal out of it. It's just like, oh yeah, and there's just, because it's funny if you actually like watch the movie with that in mind. He does seem like really confused why Courtney's like hitting on him.
Yeah. And also his little brother Neil too. He's just like, oh my god.
He's like, oh my god, this girl doesn't know, does she?
So yeah, it's funny. I remember seeing like, if you look on the Wikipedia or whatever, there was a whole like, ooh, people like are not sure about it. Like, how do we tell the children? It's like, oh god, whatever, who cares? But yeah, so there was that. I like that. Just in general, actually, I'm kind of surprised that like the movie's like kind of dirty. Like at several points.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know, maybe not think is that surprising, but I mean it's not like it's oh it's so offensive. That's obviously not, but like just a little surprising. But I do think because I remember last time for Coraline I said that like if you're going to make a legitimately like scary movie for kids, like this is how to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
For this, it's not like really scary, right? I mean I guess there's some parts that are kind of like could be seen as scary if you're like a young kid or something, but the overall
it's not
theming
really focusing on the horror aspect as like a scare factor. It's more so like I guess analyzing the horror aspect. If that makes
sense. I see it as like this is not really a horror movie, but it is absolutely a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Right. It gets all the tropes of everything, the setting, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're gonna, while I said Coraline was kind of the quintessential like legitimately scary kids movie, I'd say this is sort of like the quintessential like Halloween kids movie.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Spooky fun.
Yeah, because most of the tone is relatively lighthearted. Until that climax moment, but yeah, and then I have to say, I cannot believe this is stop motion.
No, especially the scene with the tree and everything.
Both
Like, that's scary good.
the lightning effects, and then also just like the clouds, like with the witch and like face in the clouds, like the hands come. Like, how the hell did they do that?
How did they?
I have no
think
idea.
They used like
Maybe did they use smoke?
No. I was gonna say they probably used the tissue paper.
Oh.
I don't know.
Because I know you can do like that kind of like the clouds. I think they use tissue paper because I know you can do something similar to that because we did that in art class where you can do like if you layer the tissue paper, you can do.
I guess if you get the lighting just right, then it'll look
like if you put
way.
light bulbs behind it, then you can. I don't understand the lightning part though.
Yeah, the lightning.
And how they were able to like glitch and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then because also you have to remember it's not just how they get it to look, but they have to like, you know, it's frame by frame, right?
Yeah.
So that means they have to like move everything slightly by just in one frame so that it still like works, right? Because I'm thinking even though you think, oh, this is how they would make the cloud stuff, okay, but like all of those clouds are like swirling around at just the perfect angle. And like they managed to get all of it to move the right amount to then get a frame, and then the right amount again. It's like, oh, how do they do that? It's just, I don't
Magic.
know. I need to see some behind the scenes for this because this is legitimately one of those where I'm like, if you did not tell me this was stop motion, I would not have been able to tell. I would have legit thought this is just, oh yeah, like CGI animated, whatever, and like it would still look good in that sense. But the fact this is stop motion, it's like, holy shit. That is like legitimately incredible. I wasn't
saying that the production level with the clouds or anything. I was just saying that, yeah, that was probably how they made the clouds.
Yeah.
What do they do with the models after they're done with the movie? Do they just like keep it in a warehouse or like
I would hope
for display?
Somewhere? I would hope that the people that did like all the work and stuff,
each person takes a piece home.
Yeah, like I'm sure someone has the zombie arm.
Around. I liked the zombies. Is it supposed to be kind of obvious that they're not the bad guys? Because I had the impression with first rows, I was like, they're not the bad guys, right?
Especially because like they kind of just stop and like the main judge guy like, you know, tries to talk to him but doesn't like do anything else. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So again, this movie's not subtle, right? It doesn't need to be, but it's not. So yeah. But I think that kind of helps in its favor again, considering the tone it's going for, and that ultimately it is, you know, a kids movie. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the question, the inevitable comparison will be, which do you like more, this or Coraline?
I feel like the tones are too different for me to like compare them. That's always what it comes down to for me. Like I feel like I have to compare like similar tones together for it to.
What about this and Attack the Block?
Attack the Block.
Because I feel like they're similar-ish tones.
I mean, there's more here.
Yeah, there's like more lessons in this movie. Attack the Block was just fun.
Yeah. So.
But I feel like they're more similar in tone than Coraline in this one.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I guess here I can at least give my answer to that question, though. I'm not sure on the rating exactly yet. I like this more. Partly because, again, the lesson stuff we already talked about, and then also, again, the stop motion is insanely good. And, yeah, so that, to me, adds it together, but I am stuck on the rating if I want to give it, like, a high 9 or maybe even a low 10, but I don't know yet. I'm just thinking back to other movies, like, again, how I gave Spider-Verse a 10, and the thing that kind of pushed it over the edge was how insanely well it used the animation, right? And so now I'm thinking, like, well, this is kind of similar, though, in how insanely good it used the stop motion. So I'm just like, I don't know.
You set a precedent for it.
Yeah. I'm thinking, though, because at the same time, I'm, like, thinking, which do I like more? Do I like Spider-Verse more, or do I like this more? Oh, it's really hard. I think if I had to pick, I would pick Spider-Verse. But is that enough to then make this go down to a 9. I don't know. It's so hard. I don't know.
Alas, poor Valen.
I guess for me,
Because when I said before for Coraline, I was kind of is it an 8 or a 9, right? That's kind of what I was going. So now I'm like a step above that, but I don't know. Tara, what do you think?
I think, okay, Coraline is more on the level of, like, it's a good, like, scary movie and stuff like that, where it's not just cheap scares and stuff like that. It has a story and everything. But it's mainly, I think you discussed it and stuff, where it's mainly kind of the story more than the characters. Well, ParaNorman is definitely more so the characters than the actual plot, because you don't actually realize, even though in the very beginning of the film they say, oh yeah, you're supposed to read this book at this spot. That's not actually the plot of the film. It just, the plot kind of just happens as the film keeps going.
Yeah.
Because Norman's trying to figure out the plot of the film as well. So, I feel like I would probably like I probably do like ParaNorman more than I like Coraline. Also because of the lessons and the characters. Norman is just a very good character. And also with, like, how they portrayed the things. Oh, on one side note, when they showed, like, the whole group together, I couldn't help but think of, like, Betrayal of the House on the Hill.
Oh my god.
How everyone coordinates all the characters.
Oh, yeah, wait, because Norman would be, like, the green little boy. The quarterback brother is Ox.
Yeah. The sister is
the purple lady.
Probably purple.
She's a teenager.
Yeah,
she's
the
like,
purple.
Well, I think in the game she's like 20 or something, but yeah.
And then Neil is
the girl.
Yeah, Neil is the girl.
The girl.
Little girl. And then the one that confuses me is the bully. I don't know who he is. Unless he's the old man.
No, I guess the judge has to be the old man.
No, but the judge is the part of the zombies.
Oh, no, yeah, that's true.
So...
Yeah, I guess old man it is. Unless he's Madame Zostra.
No, I like the old man.
The old man. Man, the old man is weird. In that game.
As for how much I would rank it, man, why don't you go?
I think I feel more undecided because I don't really know how I feel. Because I mean, I like Norman, but I felt really annoyed by everyone else for a really long time. So I don't really know how to gauge that.
You mean like unlike Coraline where you warmed up to them?
Yeah, because I think by the end I was still like, Alvin's still like a little shit. And then I think out of like the remaining characters, like Neil is fine, but he's kind of a footnote. And then the brother is like kind of whatever. And the sister, I mean, she does kind of get better, but she's still also an annoying bitch.
That's true, yeah.
So,
I think I was comparing the two protagonists of Coraline.
Yeah, like Norman from the get-go is very like sympathetic and relatable. Like I feel like, although if I was in his situation, I would probably just crawl into a hole and never come out. But it's really hard not to feel bad for him because he's treated so badly. So I don't really know. I feel like I liked Norman and I liked the zombies. But I felt very annoyed by like everyone else. Oh wait, and Norman's mom and grandma. They're also good characters.
Norman's mom.
But everyone else I was so annoyed by.
The only thing that annoys me about Norman's mom is her face is weird.
Her face is kind of squishy.
Like one eye is slightly higher than the other eye.
And like her chin is gone. So I don't really know how I feel either, because I'm like in that weird space where I like the protagonist, but I kind of hate everyone else. So I don't know, like, how that affected how I felt yet.
Well, someone's gotta say something.
I'll say 9.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Valid.
I'll justify this by saying Coraline is a low 9, and I'll say ParaNorman is a very high 9. Fine.
Okay.
Good like that.
What do you do?
I guess I think I'll probably go right now with an 8, mostly because I don't think I can look past how horrified I was at like everyone else and how they treated Norman.
Fair enough.
Are we satisfied enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Well, the next movie that we're watching is not animated.
Yeah, so, okay. There's probably
It's
been
not funny.
There's probably been a few people who are like, oh, come on. None of these are, like, actually, like, scary movies for Halloween. You're all, like, not doing it right. Well, I actually don't know how legitimately scary this movie's supposed to be.
Wait, you've never watched it?
I have never seen this before.
I thought that at least you had seen this movie.
No, I just heard a lot about it, and that a lot of people really like it.
Okay,
I know.
That's all I know about it.
I
also
know there's something about it that's not what you expect, but I don't know what that is.
Well, if it's too scary, I'm gonna rank it a pumpkin, because I probably didn't watch it.
So, yeah, I think I know it's. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know what I don't know. Let me put it that way. But yeah, either way, the next movie we're watching is Cabin in the Woods, and none of us have seen it.
I know nothing about it.
And
I've only heard that a few people really like it and wanted to rewatch it.
Like, what is it even about? A cabin in the woods?
It's a scary movie.
The cabin eats the people.
This is not Monster House.
Monster Cabin.
Oh my God.
I'm glad we're not watching Monster House.
Monster House used to scare me.
It's not. I'm not. It's not because it's scary. It's because I remember walking out of. I saw it in theaters, and I remember walking out of the theater and being like, "That was a lame movie. Why did I watch this?"
I remember I actually like went back and I watched it like I think probably in college just for some reason. I was like, let me actually watch this just to see what it was. And I remember like, okay, that was a weird thing. But anyway, we're watching Cabin in the Woods, so we'll see what happens, I guess.
I guess so.
You both might end up hating me. I have no idea.
If it ends up that you're not here, then Bound will replace your picture with the pumpkin.
Yes. And then I'll offer commentary in the background.
From far away.
From far away.
Hiding under the pillows.
In the bathroom.
Wow, okay.
In my bathtub.
With the pillows?
Yeah, it's a pillow fort. Like, you know how they do it in tornadoes? Like, you put a mattress over yourself in the bathtub because it's gonna protect you.
Is that like actually supposed to do
from
anything?
a place where tornadoes used to happen,
Like-
so
like-
I had to learn this.
Okay,
shit.
hold on. I've heard that that's a thing, but like, would that even really do anything?
He told me to do that when I was a kid. I don't know if it's outdated information now.
I guess that could, because I guess the mattress is supposed to.
It's like to seal you like a can.
I was more so thinking that it was to protect you from debris when it's falling off, like
That also works.
Yeah, but like, if it was like, you know, debris being whipped up by like a tornado, wouldn't it just like rip through the mattress?
I don't know. They taught me this when I was like 7 or 8.
I guess worst case, if you're clinging to the mattress, then
You have a parachute?
yeah, you have you could hang glide maybe your way.
I don't think that. Why are we talking about it? It's all your fault.
We're gonna say cabin in the woods.
Yes.
Well, in ParaNorman, they mentioned that there was a tornado.
Oh yeah, at the end. That was
Yeah.
that was the big excuse.
Okay. Sure. And then the link is that the old hobo's place was basically a cabin in the woods. So that's your link.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
it's all relevant. We didn't go off topic. You did. Okay.
Hey.
Uh.
Bye.
Bye.